Hello, welcome back to Ginny's, and I'm Ginny, and today I'm going to show you how to make Italian buttercream, and this is so nice. So I'm going to use a little bit of my Swiss meringue method with this one, but which does help it that little bit more, stops that meringue from fighting so much. So if you haven't tried my Swiss meringue, it's so easy. Have a little look on my channel for that one, and we're going to start with this Italian. So I'm going to bring you in close to me so that you can see everything that is happening in here. Now, whilst we begin with the meringues in here, on the back I am just going to heat some water with some sugar in it. Every time I do these tutorials, my ingredients list is always just here. So click this V on this side of the screen for you underneath me, and that'll drop down and all of the ingredients will be in there. So I'm going to get started with adding some water and sugar to my saucepan, and I'm just going to put that on a, if I turn it on at the bottom, it will help. Right, I'm just going to put that on a medium high. So I'm going to put that, mine goes up to 9, I'm going to put it on a 7, and I'm just going to leave that alone just to do its thing. Bring you in closer and we'll start with these meringues. Okay, so I've pulled you in closer. First off, anytime that we are doing anything with meringue, we always need to make sure that we wipe out the bowl. So I use vinegar with that. We are cutting through any grease that could be there. I am also doing it on my balloon whisk and also on my spatula. So anything there that is going to be going near this. Right, so in with the egg whites, and pop on the balloon whisk, and we're going to drop this down, and we're going to start on a medium low, and we're just going to let that go round for a minute because meringues don't really like fast really quickly. So we're going to just let it get settled and accustomed to this, and then we're going to lift up that speed. All the while this is going nicely on the back here, so I've just given it a little bit of a shake, and again leave it alone. You will need a thermometer for that one. I've got mine already. Right, we are going to put this up to medium speed, and then we're just going to get ready with cream of tartar. So if you haven't got cream of tartar, this really stabilises it. You can use lemon juice instead. So I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of cream of tartar. You can use 1 teaspoon of lemon if you don't have it. Right. See, it's starting to foam up. So we're just going to wait a little bit, just another 30 seconds, until you can see quite a bit of foam. Just like this, and then we're going to pop this in. Okay? Lift that speed up now to a medium high, and I'll come back to you in a moment when that is all incorporated. Okay, if you have a look at this now, we're not quite there. And we have soft peaks here. Now it won't have that really shiny effect because I haven't put any sugar into this yet. I'm going to do that with the sugar syrup that we've got going on the back. So let me just pop that on there. We're going to go back to this. If you have a little look at your water on the back, it should be just about coming to a boil. We want to bring the temperature of this to 112 degrees. So when you are probing it, it's pointless probing it until it boils. If you haven't got a probe and you really want to try this, normally that is around about let it boil and leave it boiling for about 3 or 4 minutes, and that should bring you to that temperature. I'd say 3 minutes, don't go much more because we don't want to make caramel out of this. We just want it to come to the right temperature. So, go again. Okay, so you can hear now on the back that this is bubbling frantically. So I am now reaching 110 on mine. So I'm ready and I'm happy. So I've got a tea towel and that's how I'm going to pick mine up. So be very careful now, because this is obviously going to be boiling hot sugar and it's so hot. And it can really cause serious burns, so please be careful. We're going to put this to a medium speed because we don't want any splashback. Right, I'm going to take this, and then if you see on the side, it's just a slow drizzle. You can still see it boiling in there. Right, and we're going to run that stream through, just on a constant drizzle. And this is going to make this turn lovely and silky and shiny, because it's the sugar it needs to do that. And it's also going to cook those egg whites to make sure that they're safe to eat. So this is so important that you get that temperature. It has to be 110. We're nearly there. Keep that steady flow going. Don't feel tempted to chuck it in because you'll collapse those meringues. And then we're going to turn it up and let it go for around about 5 minutes. It is so hot in there now. If you touch that bowl, let's just get rid of this, that is roasting hot. And that's cooking those egg whites lovely. Now we're not going to get splashed. We can put it up, and then we just need to leave this alone for a couple of minutes while I get my butter ready. Whilst this is going, I'm going to turn it down one. That's a little bit quieter, now you can hear what I'm saying. This just needs to go until it really cools. You can pack it around with something frozen if you like, but by the time I've done this and moved on, it doesn't take that long for it to come down in temperature. Right, here is the butter. Now this is my difference with this method. Normally with this method you are told to put little bits of butter, like the Swiss meringue, in bit by bit. And I find that's where massive soupiness comes from, because the consistency of hard butter and a silky smooth meringue just doesn't make any sense to me. So I bring this to the same kind of form as what this is, and they marry together better. So we are just going to, you could, if you haven't got a hand mixer, you can do this before, clean out the bowl and make sure you lemon it because of the butter, but you can just give this a whip up to start with. So I'm just going to whip mine and I'll be straight back to you. So this has been going for quite a while now. That was that extra 5 minutes, and it's lovely and cool there on the bottom. So I'm just going to lift this up and show you. Give that a swirl. Look, it's so gorgeous. Okay, so I'm really happy with this. I think that just before I add in that butter, I will give it one really quick blast on a high, just to really cut through that for the last time, just put that last injection of air into it, but I'll show you that. So we've got the butter here, we're going to add that in a moment. Sometimes it looks like it's gone soupy and it splits, and I'm going to show you exactly what happens in the mixer. So I'm going to bring you in close again so you don't see me and you see everything that's happening in here, and then hopefully that will stop some of that panic when you think that it's ruined and it's actually not. So I'm going to give this, because I can still feel a tiny bit of heat on the bottom, I'm just going to leave this alone for a couple of minutes and then be back to you. Set up my camera system, I'll be with you in a sec. Okay, let's just give this that final blitz on high. I'm going to do that for 1 minute. And I'm watching just around here to see the lines becoming a little bit more defined around the outside. And then we're going to add this butter, and final stage we'll add the vanilla. So I don't really want to turn you off for a second, because I don't want you to think that I've taken this too far and leave it on for too long. But you can already see around the outsides here, it's getting a lot thicker around there. Okay, let's have a look. There we are. So when I lift it, see, we've not got that blob anymore. I give it a good mix like this and lift it up, and it's holding its own absolutely beautifully in there. There we go. So I'm now happy to begin adding the butter. Right, so medium speed and a spoon, okay? And then I'm going to take a lump and drop it in. And just wait for that to disperse. And this is going to get sloppier, so don't panic. Right, that one's in. Next one. And we just keep going. And the thinner it gets, the more you want to panic. But don't. Now I am just going to give this a scrape down because the bottom will be full of meringue. Now look at how wet this looks. Okay, look. Now you're thinking, oh no, look what we did. We tried to make it look so wonderful and stiff, and now it looks like soup. Don't panic. Back to medium. Let's get the rest of this butter in. Right, that's all the butter in. And look how much that does not look like buttercream. And also, it looks like it's split and curdled there. See, you hear no panic in my voice. There is no problem. So, now, medium-high. And we're just going to leave it alone, and you are going to see this all of a sudden just turn straight into buttercream, and it's going to be fantastic because this is such a lovely stable buttercream. And then we'll add the vanilla, and this is also going to, you can already see it, look at it turning, look, and this is our buttercream. So before you would have panicked, but there is no panic because we have buttercream. Now the longer you leave this going, the whiter it's going to get because you're going to be putting more and more air into the butter that was there. So we have buttercream. I am actually just going to leave this for a moment. I'm going to leave it on like this for about 2 or 3 minutes and come back to you just to let that colour really drop down. Okay, so we've been going there for a while. And here we are. I love this Russian. It's so much more, so when you feel it, than the Swiss meringue. It's just so much thicker in consistency. So, now we have just whipped so much air into this. If you tried to put this on something, a cake, if you, look, when I do this, there's a lot of air in there. So now I like to go in with a paddle on low and just get all of that air that's stuck inside out. But first we need to put some vanilla in. Now vanilla is, make sure you use extract, and also I've had a lot of people say to me before, my Swiss meringue tastes buttery, or I've added the amount that you said and I can only taste, there is no flavour. Now every extract is different, so put in according to your taste. So I'm going to put in half a tablespoon. I really like that kind of ice cream flavour to it. And then I'm going to go on with my paddle. I'm going to put that on the lowest there is because we're only going low now just to get rid of that. And if you were going to add any colouring, you could add that now. Now I've got something here called Ingenious Edibles. This turns everything really white and I really like it. So I'm just going to put a little squirt of this in as well after shaking it, and that'll just drop that colouring down a little bit more as well and bring the white in a little bit. So that was probably about 1/4 teaspoon I put in there then, and we're just going to leave this alone. There is nothing else we are going to do with it apart from just let it churn, knock that air out. This will take a couple of minutes and it will be done. So I'll see you in a moment. That's been going now for a good few minutes and it is, look at that, how silky smooth it is. So I'm going to pipe this onto the bowl, which is a strange thing, but I'm using this for a coffee cake in a moment, so I don't want to put it on cupcakes for you. Right, so I've got a 2D. Let's pop this down. the sheen on that. That is absolutely stunning. So I will bring you a little bit closer, let you have a look at that, and then we'll be all done. So there is our Italian buttercream, and that is absolutely stunning. You can see just how silky smooth it is and stable it is, even though we've just been whipping it so much. If you pop this into the fridge and when you take it out and whip it up, it will do that split thing again. So just keep whipping. It's gonna come back, balloon whisk, keep whipping, and then take it down to the paddle, and you will get this. So I hope you've really enjoyed it. I hope you love the flavour. Be really cautious of that vanilla. Make sure you add it to what you need it to be, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.